Hey, what's up guys, darkbreaker here, and for today's video we are playing Omen. I already told you in the last Richter video that I would upload the second gameplay of the Vietnamese tournament. It's game day 1, I think game day 1. We are right now in the finals actually, so I will probably record the finals as well, which will be played on Sunday. I'm not sure when this video is coming out, but on Sunday we are playing the finals, and it's a best of 7 global band pick, so going to be super intense. We already played against the NA Conquerors and it was super close, 3-2 for us, global band pick. And Omen is currently in the newest patch one of the best side laners. This gameplay, I know this gameplay is played before the newest patch, but to be honest it doesn't really matter because Omen got changed so much. We got 2 Omen changes in a row. So with the newest patch we got, so in Asia there was a patch in which they buffed the attack speed animation, the attack animation for Omen, so he got buffed because of that. Then they nerfed his attack speed on the passive, and those 2 changes together is what we've got on the newest AoV patch. But Omen overall still felt stronger than before. This gameplay right now is the old patch, but the new Omen, even though he got nerfed, is still better. And now another hotfix happened for Omen today. Omen got nerfed again. The damage reduction of the S2 got nerfed by 10% basically in the late game. So instead of 70% damage reduction, you will have only 60% damage reduction, but 60% is really a lot. So there are a lot of other builds running around right now. You have Curse of the Death, you have Uriel's Brand. So what do I think of those builds? Uriel's Brand, not bad. You can use Uriel's Brand, it's pretty solid. Curse of the Death, a solid item if you are laning against Lubu for example, or if you need anti-heal. But do you guys know what is the most popular build in Europe right now? A lot of Chinese conquerors that play Omen use this build. It's Fafnir into Curse of the Death, into Uriel's Brand, into Shield of the Lost, and then into Spear of Longinus. And I have to say I've tried this build a lot of times. For 1 versus 1, yeah, it's great, it's awesome. But in team fight, it's trash. This build is so trash in team fights, to be honest, because you're not tanky at all. Like, this build is suited for a strong split pusher 1 versus 1, but the moment you join team fights, or the moment you are facing 1 versus 3 situations, you're getting dived, people camp you, the jungler camps you, the jungler ganks you, then this build is completely trash. Because this build is not tanky enough to handle 2 or 3 people. If you're super fat, then yeah, sure, 2 people is okay. But you can't really handle a 1 versus 3 at the beginning. So I still think the Mantle of Ra build is still the best build. Most consistent build. If you're snowboarding, yeah, sure, the other build is fine. I know in pro gameplay it was used, but it was before, it was during the buff. And now Omen got nerfed 2 times, and having 10% less damage reduction, it will hurt him. If you're going for damage build and you have 10% less damage reduction, then Omen will be a glass cannon. He will be much more squishier than before. Even on Yina, 5% damage reduction nerf on the ultimate, it actually makes her a lot worse in the solo lane. And I have to say Omen will be a lot squishier. You can't go for this build anymore. You can go for example, you can go Fafnir, Mantle, Uriel's Brand, and then, I don't know, Shield of the Lost, and then Muramasa, Blade of Eternity, instead of Gaia or Troy, you can go Uriel's Brand if the opponents don't have that much magic damage and you are fed. But otherwise, the other build is way more consistent. Like, if I play Omen, I will get camped no matter what. People will camp me no matter what. I played 4 solo rank games with Omen and I tried the new build out, and I have to say, it's not that good. I won 3 and lost 1. The one I lost, everyone was just feeding super hard. And to be honest, there was really nothing I could have done to play it better out. But in general, this build is just not as consistent as the other one. If you're snowballing, then you will snowball like crazy. But in team fights, you are still not strong enough. Actually, I won a 1 versus 3 with this build. But I was quite farmed. I was super farmed. But let's say you're equal, you're not super farmed, then I don't think this build will work out in team fights or will work out in a 1 versus 2 or 1 versus 3 situation. So anyways, since this is a pro tournament match, I mean it's not a very serious tournament, still with a decent prize pool, but the opponents are not high level, like full Conquerors for example. There are decent master players, I guess. And in our team we have 2 Conquerors, so not like we have the most stacked team ever. It's just a Vietnamese roster team. Vietnamese tournament and only Vietnamese people allowed. So anyways, do you guys want to see the final of the tournament? It's going to be a best of 7, like I said earlier, and I'm not sure if I want to upload every game. It will take forever. Every game with pick and ban and so on. Like the last time we played the Vietnamese NA Conquerors, it took, I think we played 3 hours, a best of 5 series. We had to remake a 20-minute game because the opponents had the DC, and I was like, okay, I don't recall, nah, I'm so triggered. I was like, fuck. Imagine you play 20 minutes, it's super close, someone has DC, he can't reconnect, and then you have to restart the whole game again. The whole game. We luckily we won that game. I would have been so tilted if we had to remake and then lose. Oh god. But yeah, finals are coming up soon. Hopefully we can pull it off and win this. Best of 7 global ban pick. It's going to be crazy. I have to play. I mean, you guys know that I have a pretty big champion pool, but still it's all about thinking ahead what picks you want to pick against which picks. For example, you can ban out, let's say I ban out Omen, Florentino, and then I have a pretty much free Rictor lane, and Rictor is super broken first pick for example, but later on I won't have Rictor anymore against, or if I pick Omen for example early, then I won't have the Omen pick against Rictor later. So you always have to think about, okay, what side laner do I want for each matchups. So I probably play like stuff like, you guys know I play Lubu, Chi, Omen, Florentino, Rictor, Varus, what else? Chi, Rictor. There's so much stuff, to be honest. On side lane you have so much variety. I could actually pull off the Superman prodigy, missing everything. Nah, we will see. Elaine, for example, also pretty strong against Omen. Omen nerf no. Maybe I would just go Elaine now. Like, after the Omen buff, I would say Omen actually, people say, yeah, Elaine is so great against Omen, blah. But to be honest, I've never faced a good Elaine where I was like, oh god, I can't win with Omen against Elaine. So far, I've never seen it. I know in pro play, Elaine is super popular because he can stack armor, Knight's Blade, and he's pretty much unkillable for Omen. But he's most of the time just used for the wombo combo with his ultimate, not necessary for his ability to win the 1 versus 1. He's just a solid laner against Omen, nothing else. And great ultimate combo with Pain, for example, or with Zeta. But besides that, I'm not a huge fan of Elaine because he's so scaling. He needs so much gold to be useful in team fights and to be actually strong, and he's more like a 5 comp hero for 5Q and not necessary for solo queue. I think for solo queue he's super garbage. Like one of those heroes I forgot to mention Yina as well, but Yina isn't that strong anymore. I'm not a big fan of Yina anymore. Sadly, Yina 5% nerf on the damage reduction, really noticeable. Not as strong as before. They already changed the silence damage on the passive. You have to go for more damage to do enough damage like before. So you build more damage and you get way more damage. So it's a double-edged sword now. Okay, right here I'm like, okay, duel, okay, I can't run away, just turn and try to win this. And we actually managed to win this. I was like, I'm going to die. I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to die, let's try, let's go in, let's just try it, let's see if we can beat them out. And we actually sustain crazy. And this is the Omen before the patch. But I mean, he got nerfed right now, so I'm not sure whether or not he's weaker, because the attack animation buff is crazy. Like, when I played Omen after the patch, he was already adjusted again, because it was 2 adjustments in one together, so he was already adjusted. His attack speed on the passive was already adjusted, and in my opinion, he was still much stronger than on the previous patch. So Omen was S tier in my opinion, but now he got nerfed again. Not sure. Maybe just a solid S tier. He's still super strong. 10% damage reduction nerf will obviously hurt him, but 60% late game damage reduction is still absolutely nuts. And that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay of us playing Omen Tournament Game 2. And if you guys enjoyed this gameplay and want to see more tournament gameplays like this, and then leave a like, subscribe, and activate the notification bell right down below if you guys want to see the final, and I will try to upload it. Anyways, see you next time. Have an awesome day. Bye bye.